In 1 minute, we start the class. Please, everyone, start the cameras. I repeat, please, everyone, start the cameras. Thank you guys for being here. This is Mr. Mauricio Muñoz Mejia, your English teacher. So we continue with the English classes. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Today is Tuesday, 20th July 2021. Before continue with our classes, it's pretty important that you guys understand that this is the week number 3. We have already started with the present simple tense. Yesterday is actually we started. Today we continue. I'd like to refresh your mind or recall information from the previous classes. Yesterday, we talked about the definition and concept about the present simple tense. We said that we use the present simple tense for everyday activities, daily routines, habits, everyday activities. So basically, that is the use of the present simple tense. Describe every single activity since you wake up in the morning up to you go to bed once again to sleep. So every single activity, okay? Brush the teeth, drink coffee, have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, listen to music, okay? Any activity that you carry out during the day or during the week, during the month, during the year, they are considered everyday activities. And we use the present simple tense to describe these activities. Now, guys, let me share my screen to show you what are we going to study for today class. Okay, can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so these are more specific definition or concept about the present simple tense. Number 1, for permanent situation. Okay, si lo utilizamos el present simple, chicos, básicamente, como les dije hace un momento, es para describir nuestras actividades diarias, nuestras rutinas, nuestros hábitos, todas las actividades que realizamos desde el momento de levantarnos hasta el momento de irnos a acostar otra vez. Cepillarse los dientes, desayunar, dormir, beber agua, trabajar, estudiar, todo. ¿Ok? Se consideran present simple tense. Aquí tenemos conceptos más específicos de present simple tense. For example, the number 1, for permanent situation. You see? Para una actividad que se repite constantemente. Look, in the number 1, we have this one. She works in an office. You see? She works in an office. Ella trabaja en una oficina. She works in an office. This is present simple. It is describing someone's activities. She works in an office. You study English from Monday to Tuesday. Your mother cooks food every day. Your little brother listens to the music in the morning. So these are the permanent situation. Number 2, for repeated action in the present. Repeated action, that means an activity that constantly is doing. Acciones repetitivas en el presente. He goes, look this example, please. I'm sorry. He goes to the cinema or to the movies. So you can say, each Monday or each week, I go to the movies. Is an activity, is a repeated action in the present. Number 3, for fact, which are permanently true. En la número 3 es algo sumamente importante porque el present simple también describe actividades o hechos, los cuales son permanentemente verdad. Un hecho es una verdad que no puede ser refutada. En la número 3 dice que el sol, the sun set in the west. Set in the west, se oculta en el este. Es como decir, el río fluye o la mayoría de los ríos fluyen al mar. Okay, so you say, most of the rivers flows to the sea. Ese es un hecho. Or you can say, the star can be seen better at night. This is another fact. And the number 4, for timetable, you see, and programs. Y la última que trabaja el present simple es para describir horarios o programas ya definidos. Por ejemplo, lo suyo, que es un programa o una clase ya definida. The English lesson start at 10:30. Okay, so here we have some concept of the present simple tense. But in general, the present simple tense, please guys, don't forget, describes actividades diarias, everyday's activity, daily routines, or daily activities, sorry, rutinas, hábitos. Eso es present simple tense. Something else, please, do not forget. In English, we need to carry out or to work with subject. Subject such as the personal pronouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Los pronombres personales o sujetos son muy importantes en el presente simple. En el contexto de este idioma inglés, porque no podemos dejar una idea sin su sujeto. Si lo dejamos sin sujeto, esta idea puede parecer un imperativo que significa una orden o instrucción. El día de ayer les comenté, si ustedes dicen en inglés simplemente study English, se escucha y suena como una orden o una instrucción. Study English, study English, sit down, stand up, go to the kitchen, do homework. ¿Verdad? Suena como una instrucción o una orden. Necesitamos un sujeto. You do the homework. She studies English. My mother cooks the dinner. So it's pretty important in the present simple tense and in any tenses, use the subject. Okay, now let's carry out something else. Yesterday, we studied the present simple tense in positive. Positive. We understood that the principal verb, like walk, cook, study, has no change. The only change, it is actually in the third person. The third persons are considered he, she, and it. Remember that. En el presente simple, los verbos no sufren cambios en el presente. El verbo caminar que vimos ayer, walk no sufre cambio si yo lo conjugo con los pronombres personales. En present simple, I can say, I walk, you walk, we walk, they walk. Nothing changed. El único cambio en positivo son las terceras personas. She walks, he walks, and he walks. Okay, so just the suffix letter est. In positive, we must study the spelling rules about the third person. It's pretty similar like the one we study in the plurals. Suffix s, es, ies, and irregular verbs. That's the point in the present simple for positive. Today, guys, we're going to continue with this part. We're going to study the adverbs of frequency, o llamado adverbios de frecuencia. Adverbs of frequency. Okay, for the better understanding, please, let me share my screen again. Give me a minute. Okay, guys, so you tell me if you can see the PowerPoint presentation. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Well, look, as I said, today we're going to study present simple tense, but we're going to focus on the adverbs of frequency, los adverbios de frecuencia. Always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, never. So we use the adverbs of frequency to denotate how many times we do a certain activity. Si nosotros decimos, yo veo televisión en las mañanas, I watch TV in the morning. O quiero decir, yo estudio inglés todos los días. I study English every day. Como usted observa, estas dos, o como usted escucha, perdón, estas dos oraciones, pues tienen un complemento de tiempo. Si nosotros queremos ser más precisos y queremos denotar cuán a menudo hacemos ciertas actividades, pues ahí va a trabajar los adverbios de frecuencia. Always, siempre. Usually, usualmente. Often, a menudo. Sometimes, algunas veces. Seldom, de vez en cuando. Rarely, rara vez. And never, nunca. Never, nunca. These are the adverbs of frequency and then word with the present simple tense. Look, this picture. Please, everyone focus on the picture. You see? They always drink tea with lunch. Podemos nosotros quitar el adverbio de frecuencia always y quedaría they drink tea with lunch. Pero queremos ser más preciso y denotar cuán a menudo se hacen tales actividades. En este caso, always denota que esa actividad es hecha siempre. They always drink tea with lunch. Let's continue the other part. Over here, we have the adverbs of frequency. You see? Adverbs of frequency and the way how to work with them. Los adverbios de frecuencia cuando trabajan con verbos regulares o irregulares, a estos los vamos a ubicar antes, escúchese bien, adverbios de frecuencia van antes de los verbos. Observe la oración 1, el verbo es comer, eat, pues por lo tanto el adverbio de frecuencia va antes. O si usted gusta, va después del sujeto. Mary always eat lunch at school. Always is an adverb of frequency. In the letter V, Mary usually eat lunch at school. Usually is an adverb of frequency. C, Josh often eats hamburgers. Often, you see, before the verbs, antes del verbo. the number or the letter D, tears sometimes eat lunch at school. Sometimes. Letter E, tears seldom eat lunch at school. Letter F, Eva rarely watches his car. And letter G, Jay never goes to the zoo. So these are the adverbs of frequency. Please, question. ¿Alguna pregunta, por favor, antes de continuar? No questions? Tengan en claro, por favor. Sí, dime, por favor. Tell me.
No, ya sí está claro.
Ok, thank you. Entonces, recuerde que la clase de ayer y hoy tenemos la definición del present simple en positivo. Aquí en positivo, recuerde que las terceras personas en positivo le va a trabajar las terceras personas con su sufijo. ¿Ok? Hoy estamos viendo los adverbios de frecuencia en el present simple. Estos adverbios de frecuencia nos van a ayudar a denotar cuán a menudo realizamos tal actividad. Si lo hacemos siempre, usualmente, a menudo, algunas veces, de vez en cuando, rara vez o nunca. Estos adverbios de frecuencia van a ir ubicados antes del verbo principal. Verbos regulares e irregulares. Okay, so let's continue, guys. For example, in this case, as you can see in this part, we have the days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Is every day, every day. So what is the correct adverb of frequency?
Always.
Always.
It's always because it's every day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every day. Okay? My example, I do say, I always listen to music. It's my favorite hobby. I always listen to music. Next one. Now, look the calendar or look the days of the week. Saturday, just one day. What might be the correct adverb of frequency? Mire por favor abajo donde están los días de la semana. Solamente está un día. Ok, ¿alguien dijo ahí? Sorry. What is the correct?
Rarely.
Okay. Si está un solo día, well, it could be seldom, and I'm going to explain that, so give me a minute. It could be like seldom or rarely, okay? Between the both adverbs of frequency. Rarely is also correct for this one. Okay, now again, what is the correct adverb of frequency?
Always.
Always.
Usually.
Usually. Falta un día. Friday. Usually. Okay. Luke usually cooks dinner. Usually. Next one. What might be the correct adverb of frequency?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Perfect. Sometimes is the correct adverb of frequency. Now, look at this. She goes to the library once a week. We have another way to denotate how many times we carry out certain activities. Okay? Not only we can use the adverb of frequency, but also we can use another way. For example, look at this. Once a week. Once. Once significa una vez. No solamente podemos utilizar los adverbios de frecuencia, tenemos más alternativas. Como usted ve, aquí en esta oración no estamos utilizando un adverbio de frecuencia, ¿ok? Sino una cláusula de tiempo, que es once a week. A week sabemos que es semana y tenemos la palabra once, que significa una vez. Once a week, una vez por semana. She goes to the library once a week. Okay? Once a week is also another way to denotate how many times we do certain activities. Once a week. Si es una sola vez a la semana, pues podemos quitar esa cláusula de tiempo. ¿Cómo quedaría la oración si quito la cláusula de tiempo once a week y quiero reemplazarla por un adverbio de frecuencia?
Seldom.
But what is the complete sentence? Could you tell us, please?
She seldom goes to the library.
Yeah, that's correct. Or she rarely goes to the library. She seldom goes to the library. So as you can see, we have two different ways to denotate how often we do certain activities. She seldom goes to the library, or she goes to the library once a week. Okay, that's perfect. Let's continue here. She goes to the library once a week. Ahí tenemos las cláusulas de tiempo. Next one. Twice a week. Twice. Dos veces por semana. Twice significa dos veces. She goes to the library twice a week. Twice. Okay? Dos veces. Or we can also say this one. Después del twice, podemos poner números. ¿Cuántas veces usted hace tal actividad en periodos? Por ejemplo, si es una vez, ya sabemos que es once a week. Si quiero decir una vez al día, once a day. Una vez por mes, once a month. Una vez por año, once a week. Si son dos veces, la palabra cambia. Va a ser twice. Twice. Dos veces. Twice. Twice a week. Dos veces a la semana. A partir del 3 hacia más frecuencias, pues escribimos los números. 3 veces, 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. 4 veces, 4 times. 5 veces, 5 times. 6 times, 7 times, and so on. Okay? So don't forget, once, twice, once, twice. Perfect. Look at this. I go to school 5 times a week. Next one. I go to the movies twice a month. I go to the beach once a year. How many times? ¿Cuántas veces? A day, a week, a month, a year. Okay? Estos son los periodos. ¿Cuántas veces al día? ¿Cuántas veces a la semana? ¿Al mes? ¿Al año? Once a day, twice a week, 3 times a month, 5 times a year. Okay, and another way to denotate the frequency is by using another time clause. Look, I feed my dog every morning. Alimento a mi perro todas las mañanas. Si yo quiero poner esto de aquí y quiero utilizar un adverbio de frecuencia, ¿cómo quedaría? Si elimino la palabra every morning y quiero utilizar un adverbio de frecuencia.
I always feed my dog.
Si quiero utilizar el adverbio de frecuencia es, como usted lo acaba de decir, muy bien. I always feed my dog. Si quiero utilizar lo que acabamos de ver, yo alimento a mi perro 5 o 7 veces a la semana, que equivale a todos los días. I feed my dog 7 times a week. Here's the next example. I ride my horse every week. I watch my car every year. Algo interesante es que con every, que significa every, cada, every morning, cada día, every week, cada semana, every year, cada año. El sustantivo que va a acompañar la palabra every tiene que ir en singular, no plural. Be careful with that. All right? No plural form. That's perfect. Okay, so let's continue in this part. How often do you drink coffee? Every morning. ¿Cuándo a menudo bebes café? La otra chica le responde, todos los días o cada mañana. How often do you drink coffee? Every morning. Take a look. So, you always drink coffee. Yes. Okay. May doesn't drink coffee. And the other girl says, I know she never drinks coffee. She doesn't like drink coffee. Look, this example. We have a question. Does Dr. About take your walk every day? So the other person says, no. He walks 5 or 6 days a week. He often takes a walk. Okay, now with this part, we're going to finish the grammar part. Con esto terminamos la parte de gramática por el día de hoy. Algo interesante sucede, chicos, con el verbo to be en presente. Los adverbios de frecuencia con el verbo to be se ubican de otra forma. Take a look. ¿Puedo observar el verbo to be ahí? ¿Y el adverbio de frecuencia? ¿En dónde está ubicado ahora?
Después del verbo to be, el adverbio.
Después del verbo to be. Eso quiere decir que los adverbios de frecuencia, always, usually, sometimes, rarely, never, seldom, estos adverbios de frecuencia con el verbo to be, is, are o am, se los va a ubicar después. ¿Ok? Con el verbo to be se rompe el paradigma de ponerlos antes. El verbo to be después. Look the example. Jeff is always dirty. Now, take a look. Jeff is always dirty, or Jeff is usually dirty. Jeff is often dirty. Jeff is sometimes dirty. Jeff is seldom dirty. Jeff is rarely dirty, and Jeff is never dirty. In other words, the adverb of frequency goes after the verb to be. After the verb to be. Okay, let's stop. Please tell me, do you have questions? Preguntas, por favor. Please tell me. Chicos, preguntas. Yo no voy a tomar ejercicios de gramática de esto. Yo voy a poner ejercicios donde usted tenga que poner en práctica los adverbios de frecuencia. No hay ejercicios. Los ejercicios probablemente...
repetir lo último que dijo.
Ok, no problem. Chicos, los ejercicios que comúnmente se hacen aquí, ¿se dan cuenta? No es enfocado en gramática. No necesito trabajar tanta gramática. No tiene sentido en un idioma centrarse solo en gramática. Okay, thank you, sir. Well, en esta última parte es cuando los adverbios de frecuencia trabajan con el verbo to be. El verbo to be sabemos que en presente se divide en 3 opciones, que van a ser am, is, and are. Okay? Entonces los adverbios de frecuencia, always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never, pasan a ir después del verbo to be. Si trabajamos con una de las tres opciones del verbo to be, el adverbio de frecuencia va a ir después. ¿Ok? Después, no antes. Jeff is always, Jeff is usually, Jeff is often, Jeff is sometimes, Jeff is seldom, Jeff is rarely, and Jeff is never. In other words, the adverbs of frequency go after the verb to be. So keep that in your mind, guys. Okay, let me stop so we continue with the class. So give me a minute. Okay.
Mister, siempre van a ir así mientras sea positivo, ¿verdad?
Sí, ahorita estamos centrados en lo que es positivo.
Ya.
Después
siempre.
vamos a ver los negativos. Correcto, hasta ahora estamos viendo solo negativo y así funciona.
Ya.
Cuando son verbos correr, saltar, estudiar, escuchar, ¿ok? El adverbio de frecuencia antes. Antes. Para cualquiera de esos verbos. La excepción es el verbo to be. Is, are, and am es el adverbio de frecuencia que estaba antes con el verbo to be.
Va a ir después.
Después, correcto. Va después. El verbo to be es la excepción aquí con los adverbios de frecuencia.
Ya, listo, gracias.
No problem, miss. You're welcome. Okay, so give me a minute. So let's continue with the classes. Let me check out these. So it's time to practice now. So we are in the week number 3. Let me check it out this. Bring it on. Okay. Let's carry out this activity. The first thing to do is to read. I want you to read. Read and then understand and speak. Okay, give a minute. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Now it's time to practice the present simple tense. Remember, the concept or definition about these tense is to describe everyday's activity, daily routines. Okay, so now allow me to introduce Mr. Miller. Okay, now I will need some volunteers to read about Mr. Miller's daily routines. Okay, Jordan Lindau, could you please start reading? Start reading, please.
I am an English teacher and I have a big family, so I have a very busy daily routine. First, I get up every day at 6 o'clock. He watches and listens. I leave for work by 7:30. I get to school and leave for work by 7:30. I head to school at 8 o'clock.
Okay, stop, mister. Thank you. Okay, that's good. So, I need you to keep reading with some pace, okay? Necesito que me practiques para que hables, okay, con el mismo ritmo, same pace, okay? No un problema si cometes errores en pronunciación. For me, no problem. Thank you for your participation. Okay. There was another student. Let me check it up. There are 2 participants. Okay, let's start with Fabiana Gomez. Please, continue. I prepare
my lesson and teach only until noon. The officer teacher and I always have lunch and start soccer. In the teacher room, it teach. I in the afternoon and think correct. My student homework and take. After a week back home, I help my kids with their homework.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, miss. Okay, good. For me, it was good. Okay, now let's continue with the last part. Okay, Stephanie Yawal, please continues. Their names.
Their names are Matthew, John, and Swiss. Then I do some exercise, eat dinner with my family, and watch TV before I go to the bed at about 10 o'clock. We love to watch travel shows. Finally, I read in bed for a few minutes before I fall asleep.
Okay, good, thank you. Nice. Well, what we're going to do right now, I want you to take your notebook and your pen. Notebook and pen. We need to practice. I want you, please guys, I want you to draw 2 columns. I want you to draw 2 columns. 2 columns, okay? Quiero que usted trace o dibuje 2 columnas, 2 columns, okay? In the column number 1, I want you to write all the verbs that you can see in the reading. Write all the verbs. For example, this is a verb. Am is a verb. So in the column number 1, you write am. Okay, am. And the column number 2, you write the complete sentence with that verb. You say, I am English teacher. Okay, so the verb in the column number 1, el verbo en la columna 1 y en la 2, la oración completa donde está incluido el verbo. Another example is this. Another verb, have. Tenemos aquí el verbo have. So in the column number 1, you write the verb have. And in the second column, you write the complete sentence. I have a big family. Okay? And so on. Okay? Do it, guys. For this activity, you will have 4 minutes. Okay? 4 minutes. Practice, please. Necesito que practique. No es una actividad calificada, lo sé, pero de aquí va a salir el procedimiento, la forma de trabajar, la actividad calificada. Practique, ¿ok? Primera columna, el verbo. En la segunda columna, la oración completa en que está incluido el verbo, ¿ok? As in the example says, el verbo to be aquí es am. Ese es el verbo. La oración completa es I am an English teacher. In the second example, we have have. So the correct sentence or the complete sentence, I have a big family. So you keep working. 4 minutes. Complete it, please. 1 minute. Hurry up, guys. Okay, guys, time to start. Please, I need a volunteer to start activity. Anyone? Okay, Mr. Jordan Ochoa, tell me, give me the verb, denme los verbos o verbos que estaban dentro de la oración completa. Porque ahí yo vi oraciones donde habían dos o un verbo. Okay? So you start, Mr. Ochoa. Thank you.
Los verbos. Have. Ahí la oración completa es I have a very vast daily routine.
What else? Come on. Give me another example. That's correct.
Get. El verbo get. La oración I get to school at 8 o'clock.
Okay, good. Another one.
Prepare. I prepare my lesson.
Okay, thank you. That's fantastic. Yes. So we have 3 different verbs with 3 different sentences. Perfect. Okay, please, another volunteer.
Yo.
Okay, Miss Vera, please start. Then Omar.
I go to, yeah, I go to big about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I read in book for la otra palabra no lo entiendo. Era que dice fall speed.
Okay. One more time. One more. I'm sorry. One more example.
¿Cómo?
Otro ejemplo más. Otro
Ya.
ejercicio.
I am que se get up every day at 6 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's get up. Es el verbo levantarse. I get up. That's perfect. Okay, Mr. Omar Briones, your turn.
Verb help. I help my kids while they work their homework.
Mhm.
Prepare. I prepare my lesson and teach until noon. Watch. We love to watch travel shows.
Okay, thank you. That's correct. So we have 3 different verbs. Excellent. Please, another volunteer. Guys, I need your participation. Okay, Miss Diana, thank you.
Eat y tal son los verbos. Igual, eat lunch and tal, doctor in the teacher room.
Okay, what else? Give me another example.
Dice, teach y teach again in the afternoon until. Correct me student.
Okay, that's nice. Miss Adriana, thank you. You start.
I get back home. I have 3 kids in elementary school.
Okay.
I do some exercise.
Oh, good. That's fantastic, Miss Adriana. That's correct. So those verbs are in present simple. Okay, Miss Alvarado, Kathy, please share your sentences and verbs.
I get up every day at 6 o'clock. In the same sentence, the other verbs get washed and dressed and leave for work by 7:30. And other sentence, I prepare my lessons. I teach again in the afternoon. I help my kids with their homework. I have 3 kids in elementary school. I do same exercise. I go to the big about 10 o'clock.
Okay, stop, Miss Alvarado. That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Too many sentences, but that's correct. Okay, now, Mr. Nixon, come on, your turn. Last student. Thank you for your participation. Okay, speak.
We love to watch travel show. I'm right. I'm fast. I'm riding bike for a 5 minutes before I'm fast after.
Another one. Give me another one. One more example.
Remain are main John and Swason.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nixon. I appreciate it. Well, that's correct. So let's go back to the reading. Okay, so as you can see in this exercise that you carry out, you study the verbs. So we have some verbs in here and how to work with present simple tense. Como se habrán dado cuenta, estos verbos que están en estas lecturas están en presente, present. Estos verbos que están en presente se los utiliza en este tiempo en present simple tense tanto para positivos, negativos e interrogativos. El mismo verbo no cambia ni para positivo, negativo ni interrogativo. ¿Ok? No cambia. Lo único que ya sabemos que en positivo, si es terceras personas, en positivo tendrá que aplicar las reglas de las terceras personas. That's it. That is the only thing that you should study about the present simple tense. Algo a recalcar también, lo que les dije el día de ayer, es que las oraciones, las ideas, los pensamientos, ¿ok? La información que usted desea transmitir en forma de oración tiene que ir con un sujeto, ¿ok? El sujeto aquí es yo, I'm an English teacher. I have a big family. I have a very busy daily routine. I get up every day at 6 o'clock. I get to school at 8 o'clock. I prepare my lesson. I always eat lunch. I teach again in the afternoon. I correct my students' homework and test. I get back home. I help my kids. I have 3 kids. Okay? I do some exercise. What else? I go to bed. I read in bed for a few minutes before I fall asleep. Okay? So this is the structure of the present simple tense. Verbos en presente con su respectivo sujeto. Si ese sujeto es terceras personas, pues a los verbos en positivo le tenemos que aumentar los sufijos, de acuerdo a la regla de las terceras personas. Period. All right? Now, guys, please, I want you to read once again. Please, read. Read again. You will have 1 minute to read. Please, read and try to understand, try to learn the principle of information by heart, because after that, I'm going to make you questions about the reading, all right? Please read. 1 minute.
Mister, can you repeat this activity, please?
Okay, no problem. I want you to read again the complete reading and try to understand the principal information. Oh, well, we have many pieces of information, right? But read and try to understand. After 1 minute, I'm going to make you questions. Please give a minute. Okay, so let's start. Student number 1, Mr. Luigi Flores. Good morning, sir. Mr. Luigi, can you hear me?
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, sir. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? ¿Está listo?
Yes.
Okay, now listen carefully. This is the question number 1.
Yeah.
What does Mr. Miller do?
Repeat.
What does Mr. Miller do?
¿Cómo andas?
What does Mr. Miller do? Okay, let me help you. ¿Se acuerda cuando trabajamos los personajes? ¿Cuál era la pregunta para saber la ocupación?
Yo.
La pregunta era, what do you do? ¿Recuerda? What do you do? Era así porque se preguntaba en forma directa. You, what do you do? Pero aquí mi pregunta es, what does Mr. Miller do? What does Mr. Miller do?
Y... Bueno, no sé. A ver. Ya. Sería he get up every day at 6 o'clock. For work is 7:30. He head to school at 8 o'clock.
Okay, Mr. Luigi, unfortunately, that's not the correct answer. Okay, but no problem, okay? Keep focused. Okay, thank you, Mr. Luigi. Mr. Ochoa, what does Mr. Miller do?
He is English teacher.
Correct, thank you. Yes, that is the occupation. Mr. Miller's occupation. La pregunta es para saber la ocupación o el trabajo. Recuerden que teníamos dos opciones que hemos visto. La primera era, what does Mr. Miller do? O podemos también decir, what job does Mr. Miller have? Well, I asked in a different way. What does Mr. Miller do? So the answer, he is an English teacher. Okay, so let's continue with another question. I'm going to pick up another student. Mr. Gerardo Viteri. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning, Mister.
Question number 2. Listen. Is Mr. Miller a busy person? Is Mr. Miller a busy person?
Sorry, repeat, Mister.
No problem. Listen carefully. Is Mr. Miller a busy person?
This person, I have a big family. No, I have a big family.
Ok. Cuando escuchamos una pregunta con is, la respuesta va a ser también con i. Entonces mi pregunta ¿es el señor Miller una persona ocupada? ¿Is Mr. Miller a busy person? ¿La respuesta es positiva o es negativa?
No, it is a very busy person.
Okay, that's correct, Mr. Viteri, pero es yes, he is, or yes, he is a busy person, okay? No puedes comenzar con no y después darme un positivo. Comienzas con yes, he is a busy person. Estuvo correcto, señor Viteri, okay? Pero debiste haber empezado con yes. Okay, sir, thank you. Let's continue with another student, Miss Natalie Valles. Good morning. Miss Natalie, can you hear me? Hello? No? Unbelievable. Okay. Well, let's continue. Oh, there you are. Miss, good morning.
Se me cortó la llamada.
Oh, come on. Okay, good morning.
Good
Question
morning.
number 2 for you. Question number 2. What time does Mr. Miller get up every morning? What time does Mr. Miller get up every morning? No?
6 o'clock.
Okay, that's correct, pero necesito que me respondas. Él se levanta a las 7 o a las 6, a las 8, todas las mañanas.
He
Eso les pedí que trabajaran los verbos. Él se levanta. ¿Cómo es el verbo levantarse? Tuvo que haber separado el verbo levantarse.
Get up.
Ok. Como es tercera persona, ¿qué le aumento?
His.
Ok, entonces, he gets up. He gets up. Continue.
He get up. Always in the morning, 6 o'clock.
Ok, muy bien, pero está en desorden su oración. Ok. Recuerde que es he always gets up at 6 o'clock every morning. Okay. That's your answer. Thank you, miss. Okay, so let's continue. Another question. Okay, let me pick up another students. Let me see. Okay, again, Estefanía Villamar. Good morning. Recuerden que estamos practicando esto. Esto es participación. Are you there? Good morning. Okay, now listen my question. Escuchen mi pregunta, todavía no responden. Okay, question number 3. Who does Mr. Miller have lunch with? Who does Mr. Miller have lunch with? Who significa quién. Who does Mr. Miller have lunch with?
I always eat lunch.
That's correct. La primera parte está bien, pero no hablo de usted. Tiene que cambiar el sujeto I por él.
Sería his.
He always, continue. No, no es I, no estamos hablando de usted, estamos hablando de Mr. Miller. Quite el I.
He always eats lunch with other teacher.
Yes, correct. ¿Qué le faltó en el verbo si es tercera persona? ¿Qué se le aumenta?
Es.
La letra S. Ok, la letra S en eats. He always eats lunch and talk together in the teacher's room or with the other teachers. Okay, thank you. Be careful, okay? Por favor, estamos hablando... Sí, dígame.
¿La S dónde iba?
En el verbo. El verbo aquí es el verbo comer. Eat. Eats. Eats. Okay? Recuerde que cuando se hace pregunta en terceras personas, que hablamos de él o de ella, no podemos comenzar con yo, porque no estoy preguntando información suya, sino de terceras personas. Entonces, la oración en este caso inicia con he. He always eats lunch. That's correct. Okay, I'm going to pick up another student. Let me see it. Vanessa Castro. Good morning.
Good morning.
Question number 4 for you. Listen. What does Mr. Miller do after he helped his kids with their homework? What does Mr. Miller do after he helps his kids with the homework?
He have 3 kids in the elementary school.
Okay, did you understand the question? ¿Entendió la pregunta? What means que? What does he or what does Mr. Miller do? ¿Qué hace el señor Miller? What does Mr. Miller do after, después, after he helps his kids with the homework? Le ayudo, él hace ejercicio. ¿Qué más hace? ¿Cómo sería él hace ejercicios?
He
El verbo hacer es do, pero en tercera persona, ¿cómo va? No podemos quedarnos en esto. Él hace ejercicio. Tercera persona, al verbo do hay que comentarle algo.
he doesn't some exercise.
Ok, pero no es en negativo, es en positivo. He does. He does exercise. Aquí está la respuesta. Usted cambie, por favor, en terceras personas. Le ayudo, por favor. Ok, ahí está la respuesta. Pero aplique tercera persona. En vez de I do es he does. He does exercises. ¿Qué más? He does exercises.
Eat dinner with my family and watch TV.
Ok, pero no es con su familia, es con la de él. Eat dinner with his family and, ¿qué más?
Watch TV.
Tercera persona, ¿qué le pasa? ¿Qué le tenemos que comentar al watch?
Watch.
Watches TV. Okay, thank you. That's it. Okay, so that's the way to work in the third person, present simple. Okay, let's continue with the last student. Let me check it up. Okay, Adriana Zarate. Good morning, miss. Come on, let's practice. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Listen, please. What kinds means qué tipo o qué tipos. What kinds of TV shows does Mr. Miller love to watch? What kinds of TV show does Mr. Miller love to watch?
She loves to watch a travel show.
Okay, can you repeat again?
She loves to watch a travel show.
Okay. Cuando trabajamos con esto, permítame por favor un momento, su respuesta está correcta, no hay problema. Ok. Aquí está. Si trabajamos en terceras personas, ¿a cuál de esos dos verbos lo aumentamos ese? ¿A loved o a watch? ¿Quién me ayuda?
Love.
A los dos.
Love.
Correcto, solo a loved. Solo podemos aumentar verbo, perdón, aumentarle el sufijo en terceras personas al verbo que es inmediato, o sea, después del sujeto. Al que viene ya no es. Correcto, solo al primero.
She loves to watch a travel show.
Ok, no es to watches, no lo aumente ese. To watch.
To watch.
Travel shows, ok. Solo aumentamos ese al primer verbo. He loves to watch travel shows. Ok. Thank you, Miss. Wow, fantastic. Okay, now let's carry out the same exercise, but in a different way. So give me a minute. Let me put this here. There you go. Let me share my screen again. Give me a minute, please. Okay. Now, with your notebook, please take your notebook. Take your notebook, please, and a pen, and start writing the question. Start writing the question. Write the question number 1. Escriba la pregunta 1, please. Write the question number 1, quickly. We have 16 minutes. Write the question 1. Okay? Perfect. Now, write the question number 2. Okay? Now, please write the question 3. Okay, guys, now please write the question number 4. Perfect. Now, let's move to the question number 5.
Profesor, tiene el micrófono apagado.
Okay, guys, para esta actividad, for this activity, you will have 5 minutes. Don't forget the answer in third person. Las respuestas van a ser en terceras personas. Third present. 5 minutes, guys. Completed. 1 minute. Okay, guys, so please, I need some volunteers, actually 5 volunteers to work with me. Please click on the button. Anyone? Okay, so we start with Maria Pluas and then Jordan Ochoa. Okay, Miss Maria, question number 1, please answer the question number 1.
¿Le digo la respuesta o la pregunta también?
Okay, no problem. Let me help you with a question. Why does Mrs. Lucy's get up very early every morning?
Because is going to the work.
Interesting. Sure. That's the reason, porque se va al trabajo. Okay.
¿Mande?
Well, the first question, I don't think so. That's the reason. La primera no es esa la razón por la que se levanta temprano. La pregunta es por qué la señora Miller, la señora Lucy se levanta temprano en las mañanas.
¿Me puedo decir yo?
Oh, okay, miss, no problem. Tell me, why?
She gets up early because she likes to go jogging along the beach and watch the sunrise.
Okay, that's the correct answer. Perfect. That's correct. She goes jogging, or she likes to go jogging and watch the sunrise. Perfect. Okay, so we continue with the number 2, Mr. Jordan Ochoa. Thank you. The question number 2 is, where does Miss Lucy work?
She works in a bank near her home.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you. So don't forget, that's correct. Your answer was correct. So third person, S, works. Perfect. Okay, so let me check. Anybody else? No one. Come on. We have 3 minutes, 3 questions left. Milena Alvarado, thank you. Question number 3. How long does it take Miss Lucy to get to work?
She takes about 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, it takes her about 20 minutes. Okay, that's perfect for me. Thank you, miss. 2 more questions. Come on, 2 more volunteers, quickly. Okay, Miss Alvarado, thank you. Question number 4. What is Miss Lucy's hobby?
His hobby is fighting.
Okay. Pero no es his. Cuando es mujer, no es his. ¿Cuál es el correcto?
Her.
Her. Okay, her hobby?
Is fighting.
Fighting. Pelear? Fighting? No. Is... What is his
¿Lo puedo
hobby?
decir yo?
Okay, go ahead. No problem. Go ahead.
His hobby is growing flowers in our garden.
Yes, that's correct, pero no es his. Ella es mujer.
Perdón, cheese.
No.
Her
hobby. Her hobby is growing flowers. Okay, and the last question, Jennifer Villamar, thank you. You tried the last question is, what does Miss Lucy do in the evenings?
She takes her dog for a walk.
Yes, fantastic. Well, guys, thank you. That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much, guys, for having me. So we continue tomorrow, okay? Hoy practicamos adverbios de frecuencia con terceras personas, the third person. Mira que no hemos visto nada de gramática de terceras personas. pero trabajamos third persons, okay? So tomorrow we continue with some grammar about the third person spelling rules. So thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Goodbye.
Thank you.